This room is 3 by 3 meters and is actually not that easy to lit, since all the walls are light gray. Whenever you put your video light, then it bounces all over the place, and it's kind of hard to get subject and background separation because it is so close, and also everything is lit the same way. So, but since the channel is about the photo and video gear, I tried to lit it properly. I'm not sure I succeed, but I kind of like the effect, so guess this is what matters. This is how my light looks like when there is a natural light coming from the window here. It's too hot. Even this is on ISO 100. Sure, I can stop the aperture, but then I won't be separated from the background. But generally, when there is a sun coming, it is almost impossible to record unless I use the ND filter. So I guess I can block the incoming light to also to get consistent lighting. Now there are clouds hiding the sun, and it's somewhat acceptable, except that half of my face is lit, half is not. Although when the sun comes out again, then it would be overexposed again, so I have to block it and see what happens. So I'm using standard curtains, but then with the curtains everything goes high wire, so I have to adjust the ISO, and I'd say the best one is the native, so 3200, and it is still bad. The light is coming from the ceiling, so it's like kinda messy, I'd say. There is no separation from the background except the separation which comes from the 1.7 aperture. I guess the lighting which is in the room is not enough, and it's never enough. And it's good to hide all the coming light if possible. So I guess I have to turn on some kind of the video light. So I got a Godox here, and I'm turning it on. So I'm turning off this ugly ceiling light, and now I have to adjust the ISO. Now I have to adjust the ISO, and I'm going to native again. And native in that case is ISO 400. It is another native ISO for the Blackmagic 6K because it's a dual ISO camera. So I'd say it started to look decent, although the wall in front of me is light gray, almost white, so it bounces all the light from the light which is here to the whole room, I'd say. And so I got some kind of the hair light coming from behind, but there is no key light because the whole wall is a key light, I'd say. It's not bad because it's a big source of light, it's bounced light, so it's kinda soft light, but it is just bouncing all over the place. So the solution is to just bounce more light onto my face. I have stolen this idea from Chris Franklin channel because he's doing exactly the same thing, although it's a little bit different setup and his room is 10 times bigger. But if I put something in front of the reflector, my face looks like that, but with the reflector it is much brighter. It's still not that separated from the background because the light is going all over the place since it's a really small room, 3 by 3 meters. So the Godox is on 60%, and it is still like everything is lit the same way. So I would like to make the background darker to get my face separated from the rest. Is it possible? So you have to block the light which is bouncing from the wall in front of me, and to do it you need an egg. An egg is something dark, so I got, for example, I got this blend which is 5-in-1, so there is a golden reflector, silver reflector, white reflector. There is a neck on the other side, so there is a black side, and there is also some transparent thing which makes really nice light for portraits, but you need a source of light behind it. So in that case, if I put this black thing, it's like 2 by 1 meters on the back wall, it's a neck, but it's really hard to put there because there are 2 monitors on the wall, there is this reflector, so it is kinda annoying to put something big there, and it can fall off on the camera, on myself, so it is not the best idea. Although lately I got my birthday present and it was in the box full of styrofoam, and the styrofoam has been in form of big thin sheets, so which is just ideal thing for the neck, although the styrofoam is white, so it is rather the reflector, but if you paint it black, then you got a neck. This styrofoam, it is white on the original side, but I painted matte black, although as you can see it bounces a bit of light, but I think most of the light is just eaten, so we have to see what's the difference if you put the neck there. What is nice about it, there are 5 pieces of styrofoam, and I kind of create, so it is, I'd say it's a modular neck, so I can put it behind the camera in parts, create some V-shape from 2 of them, and I can put the biggest one on top of them, and since there is a V-shape, it should stay in place, although they should be even. So if they are even, that one should stay in place. And there is also a small one which can go here on the monitor mount, and it seems that the background got darker. Not much, but it's like twice as dark. So here is the reflector covered, here is the reflector uncovered, so it works like a key light in that case. So I have painted this styrofoam with black matte acrylic water-based paint with a roller, and the effect seems to be quite nice, although there are some white spots because the styrofoam is not very smooth. There are some holes in it, so you cannot reach really with the roller there. Then I tried with a brush and I was able to fill some of them, but it seems that they do not impact that much the quality of the neck, so it doesn't really matter that much. So it's like 99% of the styrofoam is black, so it is not a big deal. There are some white spots because those spots does not reflect that much light, or they even don't reflect it at all, because there are this really small inside the hole which is white, so doesn't matter. But the neck itself is kind of nice because it's modular, so it could be adjusted to the side of the wall and the way I want to use it, and then if I don't want to use it, I have to pack it down because I'm using the desk for something else. Then actually I can just fold it and put it under the desk, or put it somewhere flat. So it is kind of flexible solution and very cheap, because the whole can of paint was like $10 and I used 2/3 of it, so it is less than $10 because the styrofoam was for free as a package for something else. So really good deal. So I'd say it's much better than the original one. I got a hair light here, key light here. Maybe the weird thing is that hair light is probably a bit stronger, since this thing is the bounced light from the hair light, although the setup just uses one cheap video light. It's Godox SL60, so that's the pro of this setup, that is kind of cheap. There is a way to put this light as a main light on top of my head or on the side of my face, but it's look a bit cheaper, I say. And now when there is a reflector, I got this catch light in my eye. Some people like, some people don't. Although that confirms that this light is lighting my face because there is a catch light.
Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.
So now I'd say it's much better. Although since it is lighting from the top, I got some shadows here and here. And also since I got kind of pronounced eyebrows, and my eyes are kind of deep in my face, so there is this shadow created by the eyebrows. So to get rid of this shadow, probably I have to light my face from below. So I can do it with Falcon Eyes, the small light. The Falcon Eyes at the moment is at 2% of the power. So there is another catch light in my eye if you're into catch lights. So that's the difference. Without it and with it, it creates some ugly shadow behind me. So it depends which one I prefer. I don't know really. I think that face looks better with this light, although there is this shadow behind, so hard to say. And sometimes I don't have time to set up this small one, so it is just a gimmick. But I think it is now a bit better than at the beginning. Even with the reflector and the hair light, the neck is creating better separation of myself from the background when the background is darker. And I also got some small accent light. It's just the Christmas lights, small diodes. But since it is really out of focus, then you got this effect of the bokeh balls. So maybe this one would be better like that, so the higher. Yeah, but probably if this is a bit higher, it looks better, even better. So I can either put it on the magic arm on my tripod, or just put it on higher tripod than this one. And I think I got one somewhere. So now I got it on the tripod, and I can even set up some angle. Is it better with it? Just 2% of the small LCD panel, but then I get rid of most of the shadows, and since now it is higher, there is no weird shadow here. It probably would look better if the wall behind me is darker, but what you can do. I won't paint it, but it is better than at the beginning when the neck is behind the camera. And if I want, I can put MC11 there. It could be like that. It could be shown. It is MC11 at 30% of the power, I think. Additional accent light, or as they call it, practical. I can also put it behind the chair so it's not visible, but there is a glow and the color I want since this is RGB light. I'd say this setup is kinda simple. So there is only one light, which is kind of the hair light. Then it is bounced by the reflector onto my face. So the reflector is kinda the key light. Here I got this small one to just get rid of the shadows, but it could be here, it couldn't. Doesn't matter that much, although there are these catch lights in the eyes. So if someone likes catch lights, then yes, it's nice to use such thing. I'd say it's a bit better, although if that would be too high, then there would be this horror effect. If you lit from below, then your face looks unnatural because the face is mostly lit from above, from the sun or from the ceiling, and if it's lit from below, it looks weird. So with this green light and all this setup, I think the face is much more separated than the beginning, so it looks better in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. If you want to use these ideas, feel free. This is the reason this is on YouTube. So I guess that's my main setup, although probably it would evolve. But I tried to lit my face from top or from the side, and it was looking worse than this setup. So, and from the size of this room perspective, it is good because the light behind me is just out of the way, and if it was over my head or on the side, it was kind of annoying to maneuver. So with this setup, and maybe the reflector is on the way out, but since it is light, the stand is really small, so it is not as bad as the light standing there or hanging there. So kinda nice thing. Cheers, mate.